The Detroit Pistons are one of the most improved teams this season. Last year, not much went right for the Pistons. They tied the record for the longest losing streak in NBA history, losing a mind-boggling 28 games in a row. They also finished with the worst record in the NBA with just a measly 14 wins. After such a horrible season, the Pistons front office knew they needed to make big changes if they wanted to improve. They fired their head coach Monty Williams and replaced him with JB Bickerstaff. They also made sure to add plenty of new talent, signing Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley and trading for Tim Hardaway Jr. in the offseason. The Pistons' commitment to building a winning culture has paid off. By January, they had already surpassed their win total from last season, and since the new year, they've been one of the very best teams with a 9-3 record. This has put them back in the playoff picture, currently as the 6th seed in the East. What's even more impressive is that they're doing this without Jaden Ivey. Before Ivey went down with a brutal leg injury, he was having a breakout season for the Pistons, averaging 18 points per game. But even without that production, Detroit is still thriving thanks to several players stepping up. Cade has raised his game to a superstar level, several of the Pistons' role players are providing more offensively, and the defense has gotten so much better. They're killing it right now, and that's why I'm going to place a bet on the Pistons with BetUS. Guys, if you love watching the NBA, then I highly recommend joining BetUS. With BetUS, you can bet on games and you can also make predictions, and if correct, you can cash out. With how well the Pistons are playing right now, I feel confident in betting on them to make the playoffs. And with their casino playground, you could play their slots and feel that casino buzz with BetUS live dealer tables. If you sign up now, you can get a 200% sign-up bonus of up to $5,000 and 250% crypto sign-up bonus of up to $5,000 as well. Now back to the Pistons. We gotta start off with Cade. He was already having a monster season, but since Jaden Ivey went down with injury, Cade has elevated his game to an even higher level. In the month of January, he's averaging 26 points and 9 assists per game. A big part of what makes him such a dynamic player is his ability to drive to the basket. He's got a great handle and excellent off-the-dribble moves, which allows him to get in the paint at will where he's a strong finisher. Even if Cade's initial defender keeps him in front, he's a master at turning his drives into fadeaways in the mid-range, and he's great at using moves like step backs to create space to get his shot off. A big area of growth for Cade this season has been his outside shooting. Last season, Cade was a poor shooter from deep, but this season he's become automatic. Cade is also a skilled post player. He's a big, strong point guard at 6'7" and 220 pounds, which gives him a size advantage over smaller guards, and he'll often use that strength to power his way to the basket for a strong finish. And he doesn't have to get all the way to the basket on his post-ups, as he can finish with hook shots where he has amazing touch. Along with being a dominant scorer, Cade is also a terrific playmaker. He's got great recognition of where his teammates are at all times, helping him to consistently identify when they're cutting to the basket and feed them with well-timed passes. The pressure he puts on the rim of his driving collapses the defense, and he's great at kicking the ball out to find open shooters. In pick and rolls, Cade is amazing at setting up the roll man for an easy bucket inside. He's got a great chemistry with Jalen Duren, where he often finds him for lobs and dunks. A lot of his assists also comes in transition. Cade loves to push the ball as much as possible, and he's great at setting up his teammates on the fast break. Overall, Cade's emergence as a superstar caliber player has been the biggest reason the Pistons have emerged as a team to be reckoned with in the East. While Cade has been nothing short of spectacular, he's getting plenty of help from his teammates. All of the veterans that the Pistons picked up over the offseason have proven to be excellent scoring options. Malik Beasley has been lighting it up for the Pistons off the bench all season, averaging 16 points per game. He's a great shooter, and the Pistons maximize his shooting ability by running several plays a game to get him open threes off screens. And he doesn't have to be open to hit threes, with many of his makes being well defended. He's mostly a catch and shoot guy, but Beasley can also make plays off the dribble, whether it's shooting threes off the bounce or attacking closing out defenders and finishing. Beasley's excellent scoring off the bench for the Pistons has made him one of the top 6 Man of the Year candidates. Another veteran that stepped up for the Pistons is Tim Hardaway Jr. Like Beasley, Hardaway is an excellent three-point shooter. He's one of the top beneficiaries of Cade's playmaking, where the extra attention that Cade draws on offense has helped Hardaway to get a ton of open looks from deep. He's also great at moving without the rock, and the Pistons will have him come off screens and handoffs to get separation from his defender for open shots. And he's not just a shooter, because he can attack the basket where his athleticism often allows him to finish above the rim. On any given night, Hardaway can get hot and take over games. In the month of January alone, he has 3 games scoring at least 25 points. Another player providing a scoring punch for the Pistons has been Tobias Harris. He's been a great complement next to Cade in the starting lineup, largely thanks to his abilities as a shooter and a cutter. Most of his baskets are assisted, but if Tobias ends up with a smaller player on him, the Pistons will dump the ball to him down low, and he could score over smaller defenders in the post where his fadeaway jump shot is cash. The increased offensive production from so many players has been a big part of the Pistons' success, but a big reason they're winning has also been their defense, where over their last 11 games, they ranked 3rd in the NBA in defensive rating. A big reason for that has been the rise of Ausar Thompson. Ausar has been a starter since Ivy went down with injury, and in that time, he's really leveled up the Pistons' defense. Now Ausar guards the top player on the other team, and he can make their life difficult. He's exceptionally quick, helping him to stay in front of speedy guards and make them take tough shots. And if being off the dribble, he can recover and get back in the play. His excellent size at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan gives him the versatility to guard bigger forwards and sometimes even centers. Another guy that's really stepped up for the Pistons on defense has been Jalen Duren. Duren has always had the size and athleticism to be a great defender, but he struggled on defense in the past largely due to a lack of basketball IQ and effort. But in recent games, Duren's motor on defense has been much improved. Now he's doing a much better job of stepping up and blocking and altering the shots of driving players. He's also been dominant on the glass, which helps Detroit to limit second chance opportunities for opponents and secure stops. The Pistons also get incredible defense from their backup center Isaiah Stewart. He's undersized for the center position at only 6'8", but he's got a strong muscular build and a 7'5" wingspan, helping him to play much bigger than his height. He has a great sense of positioning, and he times his jumps perfectly, making him a great shot blocker. His ability to contest and block shots makes him incredibly tough for driving players to finish over. On the season, he's holding opponents to just 46% shooting at the rim, which is the lowest in the league. As good as the Pistons have been, I think they could get even better once Jaden Ivey returns to the lineup. Before getting hurt, he looked like he was on his way to becoming an all-star. He's expected to miss most of the regular season with a broken fibula, but there's a chance he could return by the postseason. If Ivey could get back to where he left off, then this Pistons team is even scarier. As good as the Pistons have been, they lack another ball handler outside of Cade that could consistently get in the paint. Adding Ivey back should only make this Pistons team more dynamic. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of how the Pistons have been playing this season? Do you think that this hot stretch that they're on is sustainable? Can they go far in the playoffs? Can the return of Jaden Ivey have an impact? Let me see your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, I'll continue to talk about the Pistons all season long, so if that sounds like something that will interest you, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day.